Okay, I'm finally back to tell the rest of the story. I've been having problems with my iPad. Um, Hopefully they're fixed, and hopefully this will go on. Anyway, we were at uh, the story of the cat. And, alright, so a little time went by, not long, and I just had this feeling that George was going to get out of prison, which was impossible. He'd never get out of prison. He was in for life, and I just somehow had this feeling that he would. And one day I get a call from George, and he says, he's all happy. He says, "You'll never believe what happened." He said they're transferring me to a minimum security prison, and I'm gonna have access to my art supplies and television and a pool table and things like that. And he says, in 2 years they'll parole me and I'll get out. And we were all happy. And he was talking about he had this thing for Stevie Nicks. He adored Stevie Nicks, and one of the first things he wanted to do when he got out was go to a Stevie Nicks concert. He adored the woman. And we talked about so many things, and it was just great. And then the next day, I got another call from him, and he said, "I'm not going." I said, "What? What happened?" And he said, "Nothing happened. I'm not going. I'm not going to let them transfer me." And I'm like, "George, I don't understand." And he said, "I can't." He said, I've been in here half my life. I don't know how to function out there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. He was just absolutely panicking. And he said, "I'll do anything it takes to stay in here. If I have to punch a guard, I'll do it, but I'm not going anywhere." And, I mean, George is one of the most peaceful men you could ever meet. And for him to say that, he was serious. He was absolutely serious. And there was nothing I could do to talk him out of this. I tried so hard. And I kind of died inside. After all of the prisons I'd dealt with and all of the atrocities I'd seen and all of the deaths and the things that were happening on the res, I mean everything. And I was just obliterated. I really was. And this may have been wrong, but I couldn't handle anymore. And I stopped doing the work. And I mean, I stopped doing it cold turkey. I didn't give anyone any notice. And I never talked to George again. And I heard via the grapevine later that he got transferred to it was the same prison, but it was a different part of the prison. And that a new warden had come in, and to honor Tom Whitehawk, he did start doing the newsletter. The new warden apparently allowed it, and he wasn't going to take no for an answer, but he did something. I don't know what he did, but it made him stay in prison. And he had Stockholm Syndrome. They told him what to eat, when to move, where to go, where to stand, where to be, and getting out just really scared the crap out of him. And he needed psychiatric counseling, but of course, that's not available there. So I haven't done the work ever since. I haven't talked to any of them ever since, and I feel some guilt over that. But at the time, I was dealing with personal issues on top of all the emotion from that, and I just couldn't handle it. I broke down. And now what does this all have to do with DAPL, the Dakota Access Pipeline? Well, that's just one story. And it's not just in the prisons. If you read the native newspapers, the obituaries take up 2 pages. They're supposed to be sovereign, and yet the government goes in there and burns down their crops. Just all kinds of atrocities happen all the time, and they are still systematically being exterminated, and nobody knows about it. The mainstream press won't report it. You have no idea what these people have to live with all the time. And you need to, if you can, there's a movie called Thunderheart. It starred Val Kilmer. It's an older movie. If you can get your hands on it, it's based on a true story, and you really need to watch it because it'll give you a good idea of the things that go on out there. I can't tell you enough. Please watch that movie. It'll give you some clue of what they deal with daily. And now for the Dakota Access Pipeline to run through their land, to run parallel to their water system, that could just poison them, poison the children. There have already been spills out there. It's just one more thing, one more step toward extermination. And Trump doesn't care. All he cares about is ExxonMobil and, you know, the banking firms, the oil companies. And if he could exterminate every Native American person alive, he probably would, just to make way for his golf courses and whatever. But this is very real. It's a real situation. People need to help. People need to send donations. Go out there. Just help these people. And above all, let the Trump administration know in every possible way. Not that I think they're really going to do anything, but if enough people went. I mean, you know, people were protesting at the airports over the ban. Go to the res and protest with them. Do something. Block the path. Do whatever you have to do. Do it Gandhi style. Just do it. I mean, enough has been done to these people. Seriously, enough has been done. We've taken enough from them. And it needs to stop. So, anyway, this is my thing right now that I really needed to get out there, and I really wanted people to know. So think about it, tell your friends, call your senators, your representatives, do whatever you have to do. But if all you can do is pray, just do that. If you're not spiritual, if all you can do is think about them with goodwill, do that. Just do something. Thank you for watching this. Again, it helps if you like the videos, and if you subscribe, more people will be able to see these.